Wednesday, June the 3rd. Sorry about that. Welcome. Great. So could we please have a roll call?
Director Bender.
Here.
Director Beitman.
Here.
Director Orsini. President Mayo.
Here.
And David Couch is absent this evening.
Thank you. Could we please do the Pledge of Allegiance and if you would please, record. Bender, would you please do it? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So this time, we'll call for any additions or changes to the agenda, and I would like to, well, I'm going to do it twice. I think that consent calendar, we're going to have something removed. Let me think about it just a second here. How do I want to do this?
I think we wanted to talk about moving the closed set.
I know, was there anything on the consent calendar? Maybe I'm mistaken.
Nope. And when we get to that item, we can ask if anyone wants.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So we will be making a change at that point in time. Sorry about that. Additions or changes to the agenda. We will have one. Go ahead.
I'd like to consider moving the closed session item
Yeah.
to the end of the board meeting.
Right, and that's on the consent calendar, correct? No, it's not. All right, my bad. Got you guys. So I've been asked not to move that agenda item to the end of the meeting, and if there's no objection from the board, we'll make that so. It's like, all right. Yeah. All right, good. All right, so any additional additions or changes to the agenda? Anybody know the? No? Okay, thank you. So with the removal of oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Sorry. All right.
I'll move to approve the agenda with the aforementioned change.
Call for the vote. Any comments from the public or staff? Call for.
Director Bender.
Yes.
Director Beitman.
Yes.
Director Orsini.
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so. Moving on to closed session, and that's what we just mentioned earlier on number one. We're going to move that to the absolute end of the meeting. And we're all clear on that? Any objection? Now, we will move on then to public employee performance. No, that's public hearings. And we have public hearing. We will accept public comments relevant to the proceedings. And number one, we are looking at conduct public hearing to present information regarding job vacancies, recruitment and retention strategies FY 25-26 in accordance with the requirements set forth in AB 2561.
Leslie,
Leslie,
thank you, Director Frisbee.
Prior Chair, excuse me, President Mayo. We should open the public hearing prior to
all right.
Director Frisbee's presentation.
Before that, Leslie. All right, so let's open the public hearing. And then we will have the item presented by our staff member.
Okay. Public hearing is open. Great. So on September 22nd, 2024, Governor Newsom signed AB 2561 into law to amend the Myers-Milius-Brown Act and create a new obligation for public agencies to publicly address the status of their vacancies in a public hearing as a basis for the new requirements, the California legislature determined that vacancies are widespread and can be a significant problem in the public sector. Vacancies require employees to take on heavier workloads, resulting in burnout and increased turnover, which could negatively impact the delivery of public service. AB 2561 requires local government agencies to report on the status of vacancies within the district, as well as the recruitment and retention efforts made by the district. As part of the public hearing, agencies are also required to identify any necessary changes to policies, procedures, and/or recruitment activities that may lead to hiring obstacles. If the district had a recognized employee bargaining unit, the district would also be required to allow that unit to make a presentation during the public hearing. However, as the district does not have a recognized employee bargaining unit, this requirement does not apply at this time. The district does negotiate with an employee negotiating committee comprised of district employees representing each department of the district. This committee is not a formally recognized bargaining unit. The district employee negotiations committee was invited to present at this hearing. In fiscal year 25-26 budget process, the board approved a total of 31 full-time positions and 48 part-time positions. The attachment 2. For the fiscal year 26-27 budget process to be finalized later in this agenda, the board has presented with an organizational chart listing a total of 30 full-time positions and 50 part-time positions. The attachment 3. Of those fiscal year 25-26 positions, there is one part-time vacancy. There was one part-time vacancy for a part-time office assistant as of July 1st, 2025. On July 31st, 2025, the finance specialist position became vacant. At that time, the finance and administration department assessed the current workloads of existing staff and made a determination that a full-time finance specialist was no longer required and decided to leave that position vacant. The part-time office assistant position was filled on September 16th, 2025. In the operations department, lead person Eric Jones retired on May 18th, 2026. Chris Jones was promoted from utility 2 to the lead person position. Currently, the utility 1-2 position is vacant. It will remain vacant until November 2026, at which time it is anticipated that a utility maintenance worker will be promoted to utility 1 or 2, and a new utility maintenance worker will be hired. Currently, the district's vacancy rate is 3.3%. Recruitment efforts, including posting job announcements in various locations and in a variety of mediums. The district places ads up on Humboldt Craigslist, the district's website, on the Cal Poly Humboldt Career Center website, in local newspapers, on social media sites, and on the Indeed job recruitment platform. Additionally, human resources staff attended the Humboldt Builders Exchange Trades Days to increase awareness of our career opportunities at MCSD among recent high school graduates. Retention efforts in the last fiscal year have included hosting monthly morale booster activities for district employees, as well as monthly interdepartmental small group trainings focusing on employee communication skills, wellness, and resiliency strategies and team building. District management takes employee wellness very seriously and works with employees who may be underperforming to support them in developing the necessary skills and competencies to be able to meet or exceed expectations. Human Resources consistently researches training opportunities and keeps district managers and employees informed of any potential useful and cost-effective training opportunities that are available for interested employees. some statistics that I forgot to write in your report, but that are important for you to know. Our average time to hire for filling vacancies is roughly 45 to 30 days. Our retention rate for fiscal year 25-26 has been 96%, and our average turnover rate is approximately 1.7%. These are pretty big statistics. Anyway, that concludes my presentation.
I'd like to ask you a quick question.
Uh-huh.
On the turnover, is that, um, it- does that seem to me like it's just with our seasonal?
Most of our turnover is with seasonal and part-timers. Our part-timers are generally very young. They're high school and college. They finish school, they move away.
Because I'm not seeing any of my regular old patients disappearing. That's,
Right.
thank you so much. Any questions from the board? From the public?
I just have one general comment that the retention and the wash rate, those are some very impressive numbers, when you turn them into percentages. I think that says a lot about the culture of MCSD, and that's all on the staff and the department heads, so thank you.
And then we'll open it up to any public comment or from the Zoom. And Joyce, could I ask you, I can't see that thing. Could you give us a list of who's online, please?
Yes, so we have Albert Reyes, Daniel Shaw, and Jim Fabian, who are all here for later on E item. And we also have Michael Miller present as well.
Thank you. And anybody raising their hand?
Oh, sir.
Well, at this time, I'm going to close public comment. Continue to any more discussion if necessary.
Yeah, I just want to, this will sound like an echo of what Director Bender said. The figures are unbelievably impressive. And especially considering that the turnover rate reflects a normal seasonal turnover of part-time, and virtually temporary employees. So I just would like to echo what Director Bender said, and I guess as simple as I can. Job well done. And I want to say thank you for that. It doesn't come automatically. I know that.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge the work that it takes for staff and management to be able to put forth these type of numbers in this day and age. Turnover seems to be part of just the normal way of doing business, especially for younger generations now. I was reading an article that said that the average person will have 30 jobs in their lifetime that are just coming into the workforce now. So I think that's something that we need to be aware of. But we seem to be doing a pretty good job. As we all know, one of the most expensive things is the first 6 or 8 months that you have somebody on board. And then to lose them within a couple of years after that is definitely after your major sunk costs have been realized. So good job to management for putting forth such great numbers.
Thank you for the comments, board, and thank you for the presentation and all of you. Appreciate it. Thanks for the information. Moving on to item number 2, we're going to conduct a public hearing for the 2025 Urban Water Management Plan. Hopefully approved plan for submittal and adopt resolution 2026-20. And that is on our agenda on page 20 or 21. Yeah, starts on page 19 of our agenda. And to be presented by our Operations Director, Nate Henry. If you would, please. Oh, we're going to open the public hearing first? Yeah, so we got to open the public hearing first, and so public hearing is now open. Then we'll present the item by our Operations Director. Thank you.
California legislature enacted Assembly Bill 797, Water Code Section 10610, sequence known as Urban Water Management Planning Act, 1984. The act mandates that every water supplier providing water for municipal purposes to more than 3,000 customers or more than 3,000 customer acre feet of water every year must prepare an urban water management plan. Department of Water Resources reviews and approves each plan to ensure conservation and efficient use of water. Plan is updated every 5 years or as necessary per legislative amendment and department review. A copy of the draft plan has been available for the public at the district office at 1656 Sutter Road in Kinleyville, and a copy is posted at the district website, attachment 1. The notice of this public hearing was advertised in the Medal Union. Urban Water Management Plan requires the district to make projections out to 2045 for water use, service units, and population growth. The draft 2025 Urban Water Management Plan is 190 pages long, therefore it isn't attached to the board packet. A hard copy is available at the district office, and a link to the plan is below.
Thank you for that. Any board discussion?
Just some questions for staff. Could you kind of go over some of the high points of the urban water management plan?
Not really.
Or some low points?
And I told Sam he didn't need to come to the meeting. Sam King did a lot of the work on it, or most of the work on it. There wasn't a lot of changes to the last one other than projections. Some of our projections were higher than anticipated for the last one, so some of those projections came down, especially on growth. And then other than that, the template had a few minor additions, which I can't recall at the top of my head. Other than that, it was pretty much the same bullet point or boil point, whatever boil point template.
So there wasn't a whole bunch of new stuff on the
Just recalculating and reconfiguring what we projected last time to see how we were doing on the projection 5 years later, and adjusting that. Like the growth is booming at the time and they slow down.
okay.
Yeah.
So our growth numbers adjusted downward.
Yeah, water use came down on that. So the projection of water use, going up, the water use came down for the annual on the percentage, and the growth percentage went even or stayed the same. Using the last calculation because it didn't grow as it was projected last time. So we kept it low on the low end. So 45. Like I try to with 2.1 or whatever.
So our projection is that the population of McKinleyville will stay fairly static between now and
Yeah,
2045.
more flat line, but versus back what we're doing, we have the big growth going
Yeah.
down, and it was creeping up, and keep it late, it's double that.
Okay, thank you.
I've got a quick question and I don't expect an absolute answer. I'm just that's general. What is reducing that use? Are people conserving or? I I know we've got to do this. And, but, I don't think our general public believes that there's any water shortage for reducing. So I'm just curious what might be the progenitor of the little bit of reduction that we're having, you know?
Well, I don't know, other than there, we fix leaks when we find leaks. Sometimes we find leaks that we don't know how long they were leaking and we fix them. On the report, on my staff report, I do that monthly cut and you can see our monthly
Yeah.
usage compared to 2013. We're lower. You know,
Okay,
sometimes
yeah.
like this month, we're 21% lower. And it's not
Gotcha.
because our population dropped from 2013. It's just, but also we have less waste. You know, less leaks.
Gotcha. Well, I know I contributed to that quite a bit up at
With the waste.
at my house with the leaks and up
Yeah,
the
you
road
were
in
one of-
Arena
you
with
were
the
our
leaks,
biggest
so we
leak, yeah.
finally got some of that one fixed. I was kind of going there kind of through the back door. If it was those types of things that were helping us.
Yeah, and it obviously is weather related too, right? So if you have
Yeah.
a long winter or you have a wet winter, you're not gonna have a lot of water use, and then people are
Right.
gonna start using it in July.
Gotcha.
So,
All right, thanks. Um. So, any other board comments? Any other board discussion? How about from, did we already go to the public? We did? No, I didn't. Well, let's do that then. If there's anybody from the public or on the Zoom Arena. Welcome. Thank you. Well,
James.
Pat, I don't know how to respond to that, actually.
Yeah, not really. So, we looked at the request for water delivery to the Amazon facility, and it's mainly fire suppression. They're not going to have a lot of employees there. So our water models show that there's plenty of water to provide them with water and provide them at the pressure and flows that they need. So it really didn't, and the whole airport business park is already built into our model to look at, additional build out and what'll occur. So not really.
Right. Thank you. I would think, just off the top of my head, I would think that an extra airplane coming into the airport is going to cause more water use and toilet flushings than the facility. But anyway, just a odd thought. If you will. Any other public comment? Anybody online? All right. So I'm going to close the public comment. Public, board have anything else that they would like to say about this?
I'll move per staff recommendation.
Let me close the public hearing and then please. Okay. And the public hearing is closed.
Yeah, I'll move per staff recommendation.
In a second,
No second.
we'll be moved in second, and we'll have the roll call, please.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. And now we're moving on to item C, public comment and written communications. And anybody would care to address the board at this time on items germane to the district, but not on today's agenda, please come forward, or if you're on Zoom, please raise your hand. Nobody? All righty. So move on to the consent calendar. Indeed. Our consent calendar is to be voted on at one time. If anybody would care to remove a consent calendar item, we can do so at this time. We will vote on it separately. So.
I'll move the consent calendar tonight if nobody wants to pull anything,
Okay, thank you.
and pending other public comment.
Second, anybody?
I'll say.
A second, and okay. And if we have any public comment on this, on the consent calendar? Online, seeing none. Call for the question. Or the vote.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Aye.
President Mayo.
Yes. Calendar passes. Thank you, everybody. So E, continuing a new business, will consider the and adopt resolution 2026-19, recognizing, honoring, and commending Seth. Say it, May. Okay. Easy. That was easy for you to say. For 15 years of your service here, and we thank you so much for that. And I believe that is going to be presented by Leslie, is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Either that or Seth can present as well.
That's,
I feel like somebody tried to prank me there because I'm pretty sure I wrote mine. But okay. Beth, did you know you're the new Human Resources Director?
We're recognizing your
I
50
know.
and you gotta,
All right, enough with the shenanigans. Attached for the Board of Directors review is Resolution 2026-19, recognizing, honoring, and commending Seth Maynell for 15 years of service. After I read the resolution into the record, please join us in presenting Seth with the resolution and longevity award, acknowledging his continued outstanding contributions to the McKinleyville Community Services District. Resolution 2026-19, a resolution recognizing, honoring, and commending Seth Maynell for serving McKinleyville Community Services District for 15 continuous years. Whereas Seth Maynell, having faithfully served 15 years as an employee of the McKinleyville Community Services District from 2011 to 2026, and whereas throughout his years of service, Seth has demonstrated unwavering loyalty and dedication, and whereas Seth lends his talents, experience, and leadership to the development and service of the district, having served in a variety of positions such as meter reader, well sampling, and treatment plant operator. And whereas Seth has assisted in new service installations, leak repairs, paving, station maintenance, and construction projects. And whereas Seth has assisted in several programs such as the annual fire hydrant inspection and exercise, valve inspection and exercise, and manhole inspections. And whereas Seth has been voted Employee of the Year by his peers twice during his 15 years of service, mainly due to his hard work, positive attitude, and demeanor, natural leadership, and melodious voice that makes even safety briefings seem interesting. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of McKinleyville Community Services District hereby confers upon Seth Maynell its highest commendation for the dedicated service he has performed for the district and the community, and further marks his historic accomplishment as a McKinleyville Community Services District's employee for 15 years. Staff recommends that the Board of Directors participate in the presentation, air questions, take public comment, and adopt Resolution 2026-19, honoring Seth Maynell for 15 years of service at McKinleyville Community Services District.
Thank you for that. Any comments from the board?
yeah. Hey Seth, everything I said, when you got Employee of the Year, I'll just repeat that stuff again. So good job.
Yes. Thank you. 15 years. How fast did it go by?
All right. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your service to the district. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, both asking you the professional questions down at the treatment plant. And also when I see you down at Hiller Park, we have a little more personal discussions and everything. It's been very good to get to know you, and we hope that you stick around for a little bit longer for us. Thank you.
Yeah, hour by hour, it seems like a long time and tedious, but boy, snap your finger and there's several years gone. It's an odd dichotomy we deal with. Good to see your growth and really good to have got to know you and I'm waiting for your stand-up career to start. So thank you for that. And I think we vote on this, correct? Yes. And that well, if they would like, that's a fact.
I would like. I never get tired of telling the board and the community what a great staff you have. You have an amazing staff. And again, Seth is here taking calls.
Put it on speaker.
No, don't. It's probably just a prank call. It's probably Chris Jones. calling.
Jones or
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. See? He's always on duty.
So this is the cool part of a small community. And I dig this a lot. Thank you for doing your job, brother. And we're gonna just wait a minute.
Observe the wild Seth in his natural habitat.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we need to get Seth out of here.
So Seth, good job. I think staff wants to say something. We're gonna get a picture and let you get to work. Go ahead, guy.
Go ahead, James.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I sorry about Hiller and the Hiller people.
Little League, the gift that keeps on giving.
You ever get sick of people saying nice things about you? It's the only reason it shows. All right, I'll say something nice. No. I love you, Seth. You're a great guy. I can't imagine not having you at work. So make sure you let me know when you plan to quit. So I make sure I can leave right before you. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. He's got that 2% and 55 thing going.
You got to buy a ticket though. Remember that. Yeah. All righty. Well.
I'll move per staff recommendation.
Okay.
No second.
Call the vote.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Bateman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Aye.
and President Mayo.
Yes. So motion carries and let's do a little
Get a picture close up, can go down there and
photo size.
turn off that alarm.
Yes.
Make sure James will try to screw you out of the 2 hours you got coming down. Yeah, I was gonna say, old Scotty fronting him out that he's yakking instead of working during the day. Me too. Jones. Me too. Great show this one.
Hang on, everybody. You ain't going nowhere.
I guess not at this rate.
All right. I just want to be sure that I got that one. We're now on E2. Consider adoption of the resolution 2026-21, approving installment purchase contracts, trust agreements, and certificate purchase agreements, a continuing disclosure certificate, and an official statement making certain determinations relating thereto, and authorizing certain other actions in connection with it. I love this language, my God. And Rick from Oppenheimer is here. And I think on Zoom, we have Jim and who else? Hi, Jim.
Good evening. You got Albert Reyes from QTech Rock serving as bond counsel and disclosure counsel for, to the district for the financing.
Thank you. Let's see here. Hold a moment. So, Pat, are you?
Nope. Your finance director, Samantha Howard, is going to present this item.
And Samantha, you're online. There you are.
Yeah, I'm online. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
So as discussed at the March 4th and April 6th, 2026 board meetings, the district is looking to secure funding for several large projects within the next 5 years. For water, these projects include the Mad River Crossing Emergency Supply Project, replacement of McCluskey water tanks, rehabilitation of existing water tanks, water mainline rehab and replacement. For wastewater projects include the highway sewer undercrossing, lift station upgrades, sludge handling, and sewer main rehab and replacement. All of these are critical infrastructure projects for the district that will provide needed resilience for the water and wastewater systems of McKinleyville. As presented in March and April, the district has been researching funding options with Brandis, Tom, and Oppenheimer and the rest of our financing team. The most cost-effective option was determined to be a public offering bond sale with a 30-year financing term. As of May 20th, 2026, the par amount of the water COPs is estimated to be $4,575,000, and the par amount of the wastewater COPs is estimated to be $3,935,000. The all-in true interest cost for this option is estimated to be 4.78% for each series. Exhibit A to Attachment 1 Resolution 2026-21 outlines the good faith estimate of the sale of the Series A water and Series B wastewater bond, so as to save 309 pages per packet of paper. All other associated documents that the board is approving in their approval of Resolution 2026-21 can be located at the hyperlinks provided within the attachment section of this staff note. Staff recommends that the Board of Directors review the material provided, ask questions, invite public participation and comments, and approve Resolution 2026-21 approving installment purchase contracts, trust agreements, certificate purchase agreements, a continuing disclosure certificate, and an official statement making certain determinations relating thereto and authorizing certain other actions in connection therewith.
Thank you. Okay. So, at this time, I would like to, do we want to, let, Rick speak first, or should we have the board?
Well, Rick and Jim Fabian are here mainly to answer any questions the board might have.
But Rick, if you care to say anything, I think that's okay.
Sure.
Or you can wait until we, yeah. Rick, could you speak into that mic real clear? Because I don't think it's on.
Make sure it's on. Good evening, I'm Rick Brandis with Oppenheimer. I've worked with the district for 12 years now, since 2014. This transaction or financing is no different than what we did in 2021. Both now and in 2021, we did water and wastewater improvements. In fact, the size of both of those loans are pretty comparable to what we're doing now. Everything is the same.
Except for the interest rate.
Except for the interest rate. And I'll take any questions.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from board members?
Yeah, I've got a question for Rick. So in reading the S&P report, in reading between the lines, there was some conversation we had about our covenant in our debt to revenue ratio. Was there any indication that you could see, you read these S&P reports much more than I do, to where there was a consideration for our debt to expense ratio, or debt to revenue ratio? Did that play much of a role at all in our maintaining our AA- rating?
It did. We expected the rating to remain the same, but we really didn't think an upgrade was possible, but we tried. And your rating for AA- for the size of your district, the amount of accounts you have, is really better than average than we see for any utility district. And so in 2021, we were amazed that the district received a AA- rating. A lot of it has to do with their management policies and staff doing a great job. Your reserve funds are great. And then when it came around to applying again, same thing. We weren't surprised for the AA- rating.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, great. Just wanted to reiterate that because there might be a press person listening as to how wonderful this district is doing. Thank you for your praise of us.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other board questions?
Sure. Rick, I don't want a long elaboration, but how good is a AA- rating for an entity the size of MCSD? It's well above average. I think the average utility rating in California is A+. Period. Which is one step below AA. One notch below, yeah. And the average is for entities that I would imagine are substantially larger than MCSD. Correct. We work with a lot of special districts, Truckee, Donner, PUD, Tahoe City, PUD, working with districts in Marin County, Sonoma County, all over. And your AA- is above average. I can tell you that.
Cool. Thank you. Any, Mr. Spinner? Nothing? All right.
We retained our AA line.
Yeah, very good.
We did
5
years ago.
And also at this time, invite any public comment that we might have, present or online. Seeing none, I would ask for a resolution.
One more. One more comment before we make a motion. Yeah, just, Director Beitman and I, of course, are on the Audit and Finance Committee, and so, we went through quite a bit of this beforehand with everybody, with staff and with, our underwriters and bond counsel and also I'm sorry,
Municipal advisor.
financial advisor. Sorry, Jim. But anyway, I was very impressed with our staff in their ability. They've gone through this once. Well, Samantha hasn't, but so I was very impressed with Samantha in her ability to be able to navigate her way through this and learn on the fly. So kudos to you, Samantha, and of course for Pat. I know that you've got a lot to do, and there's a significant amount of work for management when we do these certificates of participation. So I just wanted to take a moment to recognize our staff and the great job that they did on getting this through. There was another question that Jim had, and I don't know. Are you still interested in getting that question answered? There was a question that you had. I was wondering if you were still interested in getting that question answered about our ability to be able to, if something happens in the municipal bond market, interest rate goes sky high. At what point can we? Are we bound that we can't back out? Recall that you having that question. Did you still need to have that question answered?
No, I think I think it's useful, and Rick, maybe you can help me on this. To apprise our board members and our public, our community, with regard to say the prudence in the structure of this financing. There are a couple of things in there that I saw that were, I think, extremely important. And I'll start at the far end. But this is for those who are not familiar with, this is a callable issue. And a callable issue means that, and you can explain that much better than I can, but basically that at some point in the not too distant future, the district would have the opportunity to take it back at the original sale price. Am I saying that correctly?
You're close. Every bond has a prepayment provision. So your prepayment provision, like on your 2021 bonds, is in 10 years. So the 21 bonds can be prepaid in 2031. These bonds will have a prepayment provision in 2036 with no penalty. You can pay it off in 2026, 2036. And if interest rates are lower, we can refinance the bonds in 2036.
And the other point of protection, if you will, that I see in this has to do with the actual issuance. And as I understand it, there is the opportunity right up until the day that they are presented to the moment that they're presented to the market, to be able to say, nope, this is not okay for us. Am I correct in that?
You are correct. It's why we have a call with our underwriter with the district a day before the sale. It's called a pre-pricing call. We will regroup with you, the whole team will, the municipal advisor, bond counsel, and we'll have a call with you to talk about market conditions and where the rates are at that time. We're looking to price, I believe, June 25th. On June 24th, we'll have a call with you, tell you where you are at that time, where the market is at that time. And at that time, the team together with you can make a decision to push this to another time.
And and also just to remind the board, under section 2 of the resolution, you're approving the issuance of the Series A and Series B certificates with a true interest cost not to exceed 5.50%. So at the time of pricing the certificates, if the market is not in our favor and things aren't looking good and it looks like we're going to exceed that true interest cost, we can't price the certificates, because that would exceed our authorization from you. So just know that that the board is approving this with that limitation of 5.50%.
If I could just interject too, is that as Samantha said in her presentation, we do have a good faith estimate that we work with Rick and his team at Oppenheimer to put together. We anticipate roughly our true interest cost to be about 4.8%. So we have significant headroom to deal with any market changes that might occur between now and that June 25th pricing date. No question, the market's been a little bit volatile with the conflict going on in Iran, and we've seen good days and bad days, and lately things have been moving back in the right direction, which was very nice to see last week. And we're hopeful that there won't be significant volatility between now and June 25th. But we'll be working closely with Rick and Pat and Samantha to keep apprised of how the market moves between now and then.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Benner. Go ahead.
Director Biden, thank you very much for those questions.
Right. And thanks for the explanation again.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks, Rick.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Any more questions, Director Clayton? I'm not sure. Staff, anything?
No, but I want to take the opportunity to commend our staff, especially Samantha and Pat as well, for the quality of the presentations they made to S&P, which, well, I don't think that you're necessarily acknowledging it, but I think that the quality of that presentation was instrumental in the good rating that S&P gave for the the securities.
I agree with you, Jim. Every part of the equation is important.
I want to make sure that that commendation is heard, please.
Thank you. So I don't think we've done
I've got one.
public
I've got one
comment yet.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, no, if you have board time, if you have a question, go ahead.
No, it's not a question. It's just a comment. I'd like to
Go ahead.
acknowledge the Audit and Finance Committee was very supportive of moving forward with this offer with these terms. And thanks a lot to Jim and myself for being able to come back to the board and recommend this wholeheartedly. To support this.
Very good. And I concur. How about some public comment if there is any? Seeing none,
I'd like to make one more comment.
you sure may.
I think I've said this before, but I want to repeat it. Of the amount that is proposed to be borrowed is based upon the work that's expected to be done, the projects that are expected to be done. And I want to, when we anticipated that these these projects could be funded with grant funding. We were, shall we say, a lot more optimistic in terms of what we could do. And then when we found ourselves in the position of we have to go out and borrow money to do it, I want to commend our staff for bringing the amount and therefore for bringing the projects and therefore bringing the amount down as far as, and I'll use the word is prudent, because at some place we cross a line where if things are not done, we're not carrying our responsibility to provide for the reliability and security of the services provided by MCSD in the future. And I do believe that where it wound up was exactly that perfect point at which if the cuts were any further, we would be cutting into something that absolutely should not be. And if it weren't cut so much, we would be obligating basically the ratepayers of MCSD for more than was absolutely necessary. I think our staff has done an excellent job of hitting that, if you will, hitting that sweet spot. I want to say thank you for that.
I think you hit it right at the very end there, the sweet spot. You know, the obligation, the work to be done, and how can we get it done most efficiently and financially, and the sweet spot. Absolutely. All right, so thank you, everybody, and now I'll go one more time out to public comment if there's anybody.
Seeing no public comment, I'll move item E2 per staff recommendation.
And I'll second.
Call for the vote, please.
Director Bitter,
Yes.
Director Bateman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes, motion carries. Rick, I want to thank you very much for being here personally. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to commend the finance team. They have been great partners holding Samantha and my hand through this whole process. Thank all of them as well.
Your credit presentation to S&P was really written by Phil Monroe, by Dan Shaw and Jim Fabian. They put that together and they determined that you need to maintain two times debt service coverage ratio. For every dollar in debt, you're netting $2. And that's why you have a AA- rating. So they did the bulk of the work.
All right, thank you for pointing that out.
Oh, they earned their money this time.
Dan and
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Dan Shaw and Jim Fabian.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Our pleasure.
You all, thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for, thank you, Rick.
All right, moving on to item 3, consider letter of support for Assembly Bill AB 1821, Public Records Act, agency response time. And this is one of them things. And our board secretary is going to inform us about this. On page 89 of the packet.
Thank you, President Mayo. Assemblymember Blanca Pacheco has introduced AB 1821, Attachment 1, California Public Records Act Agency Response Time. Existing law requires a public agency to determine whether it has disclosable public records in its possession within 10 days of receiving a request from the public for those records, or in specified unusual circumstances within 14 days. This bill extends those deadlines by specifying that public agencies can provide this response within 10 business days and 14 business days of the 10-day period in unspecified unusual circumstances. AB 1821 provides an important and practical clarification to CPRA response timelines. The bill shift from calendar days to business days for initial determinations and extensions is a common sense update that reflects the operational realities of local agencies. AB 1821 is supported by the California Special Districts Association, California Municipal Clerks Association, and numerous other organizations and agencies. Staff has drafted a letter of support, attachment 2, to be submitted to Assemblymember Pacheco and CC to Assemblymember Rogers and Senator McGuire. Staff recommends that the board review the information provided, take public comment, and consider support for AB 1821 and authorize the board president and general manager to sign a letter of support.
Thank you. Yeah, let's have some board comment if you care to. Anybody?
It's about
Yeah.
time.
Pretty cut and dry. Yeah, necessary evil in my opinion. These are the kind of bills that just waste our public time. Anyway, thank you for your efforts on this. And so I'll open it to public comment. Online or here, nothing. And so want to authorize the board president, the general manager to sign the letter of support. And I guess I just do that. I don't think this is a vote item, correct?
It is.
It is a vote item.
Well, I don't see that here.
Yeah, it is. Roll call.
Hold on. Oh, there it is. Roll call. Sorry. So here we are. Make a motion.
Yeah, prior to, having dealt with this as a staff member in these public information requests, a lot of them are frivolous now. These big companies mine data by doing these public information requests, and then they turn around and on our dime of providing all that information, they then take and sell the information that we provide to them in these lists, these vendors lists and things like that. As I'd say, I don't know, is that still what's going on? Is that kind of the crux of the vast majority of our public information requests?
Very much so. And as AB 1821 goes through the process, this letter is based on as it was amended toward the beginning of May. They are working on cooking in wordage to address such requests from data brokers and frivolous requests to help protect local agencies from that as well.
Yeah.
There's also the abhorrent search for potential lawsuits. That's a huge part of the thing too. Frivolous lawsuits. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad to see that Sacramento is doing some things that are actually constructive. So and this seems to be one of them. So seeing that, if there's no other comment on this, I'll move per staff recommendation.
No, second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. I think I had called for public comment, didn't I? Okay, let's have a roll call then.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
and President Mayo.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going through the changing room. My voice
Okay.
just changed.
Yes.
So item 4, consider attendance of the California Special Districts Association 2026 Annual Conference at the Palm Desert, August 24th through 27th. And that's on page 99. And our board president, or excuse me, our board secretary, Joey Lane, will be presenting this item.
Thank you again, President Mayo. The 2026 CSDA Annual Conference will be held in Palm Desert, California on August 24th through 27th, 2026. The Leadership Conference for Special Districts will cover special district governance, trends, issues, and legislation. The conference is designed for special district leaders from across the state to meet with industry suppliers, hear from the best in special district specific topics with over 30 breakout session options, and work with peers. CSDA encourages directors and general managers to attend the conference. The opportunity to gain knowledge and inspiration is invaluable to the leadership and staff of special districts. Additionally, there is the opportunity to attend pre-conference workshops. Any board members wishing to attend pre-conference workshops must notify the board secretary as soon as possible, as the registration for these opportunities must be done during the initial registration process, and it may modify dates of travel. The cost for early conference registration is $890 on or before July 22nd, 2026. Additional meal per diem will be $301 a person. Hotel room reservations for the conference room block begin at $159 a night for a total of $477, not including tax and fees, and are based on availability. To book a hotel room, you must first register for the conference and obtain a CSDA room reservation code. Staff researched other accommodations in the area, and the cost of parking and or transportation to the conference venue would likely equal or exceed the difference in cost. Room reservation cutoff is July 22nd, 2026. However, space is limited and may sell out before this date. Approximate round trip airfare is $622. The approximate cost for travel and attendance to the conference is estimated at $2,290 per attendee. To maintain the lowest possible cost for travel, directors are asked to inform the board secretary of their desire to attend by June 17th, 2026. Staff recommends that the board review the information provided, take public comment, and consider authorization for interested board members to attend the 2026 Special Districts Association Annual Conference in Palm Desert, California.
Thank you so much. Any board comments?
Yeah, so just for disclosure, since I'm on the board of directors for CSDA, I'm required to go to this conference. So I've already registered for the conference. Of course, my registration for the conference is covered by CSDA, but my travel and my per diem and things like that will still have to be covered by the district. I don't know where I'm going to be in the state of California when it comes time to travel down there. So I'll play it by ear and I'll let you know whether I'm going to need help with arrangements on flight or things. But I don't think I'm going to be flying out of here. I'll probably be close enough to drive,
Okay.
or at least fly out of San Francisco or something like that.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Beitman, do you think you're gonna make that or?
At this point, it's difficult to say.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. I just had a quick comment, and I don't know quite what we do. Director Bender and I stayed at a different hotel down there last year. It was quite acceptable to us, and I don't know. I think the cost was quite a bit less than this, but this price for these conferences is not a bad price.
Yeah, where are you going to stay down there for $159 a
Well,
night?
we stayed at a
I
place.
was actually surprised at the cost of JW Marriott room block being at $159. We stayed at one that was roughly $89 last year. It was a Comfort Inn or a Holiday Inn Express.
Oh, that's right.
We did have the expense of a rental car because Marriott isn't on the main drag. It's down Country Club Drive about a mile. So the car was necessary.
So it may be more.
It made sense last
Yeah.
time we were down there, but I'd have to agree with Joey's analysis here.
Yeah,
It makes more sense for us to stay at the Marriott this time.
and then we don't have to rent a
Yeah,
car or
just
anything.
take an Uber from the airport.
Yeah.
There's a shuttle. You don't even have to take Uber. You can shuttle from the airport to the
The Marriott?
Marriott. I believe.
Do I? Well, okay, so that's cool, and we'll touch bases with you and let you, massage us into the right location.
Sounds good.
Any comments, public wise on this? Yeah, the public? Okay. And
I'll move to authorize whoever from the board wants to go to the CSDA annual conference.
do we have a second?
Go.
No, second.
Okay. Call.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes, thank you so much. And we'll I was going to ask a question about when you had to be there, but it doesn't matter because you'll be getting there on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably get there.
Sometimes you have to be there the
night
day
be-
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably get there the night before.
So moving on to item 5, consider approval of FY 2026-27 budget and approve resolution 2026-22 establishing appropriation limits for fiscal year 2026-27. That's on page 115 of the packet. And is Samantha still on Zoom?
Yes, sir. I'm
There
still
she are.
here.
So it's going to be presented by Samantha Howard, our finance director, if you would, please.
The proposed fiscal year 2026-27 budget does not differ significantly from the draft budgets that were presented to the board earlier this year. However, a notable difference to the streetlight fund has been identified. As presented in the original CIP budget, the streetlight fund will be purchasing a boom truck in fiscal year 2026-27. Being a governmental fund, this will affect streetlights net income and cause a deficit of $82,967 for the fiscal year. Despite the annual deficit, streetlights fund is projected to end the fiscal year with a positive net position of $111,771. For the purposes of this proposal, the salary and benefits costs are based on methodologies agreed upon during the last employee negotiations, which took place during fiscal year 24-25. Other operating costs are estimated based on estimated actuals for the current fiscal year 25-26, with inflation considerations. In 2023, the property owners of McKinleyville voted to increase the Measure B assessment amount. The 2026-27 draft Measure B budget is based upon revenues estimated on the 26-27 engineers report for property assessments. Staff are fully aware that the Measure B fund is currently showing a deficit of approximately $352,275 as reported in the fiscal year 24-25 audit. However, with current fiscal year estimated actuals and continuous conscientious budgeting for fiscal year 26-27, the Measure B deficit is projected to improve to only a deficit of $4,003 by June 30th, 2027. All operating budgets have been adjusted to reflect revised premium projections from the district's health insurance providers, CalPERS contribution valuations, and general liability and workers' comp insurance estimates. Please note the large increase in general liability insurance compared to the last year's budget. This increase is due to an internal audit of fixed assets that was conducted in fiscal year 25-26 and ensuring all assets are now covered under our insurance. The fixed cost table there shows you a comparison of current fiscal year 25-26 with projected for 26-27 and the percent change. Again, you can see general liability insurance has an increase of nearly 40%. The total minimum required employer contribution for CalPERS, PEPRA, and Classic is the sum of the plan's employer normal cost rate expressed as a percentage of payroll and paid as payroll is reported, plus the employer unfunded accrued liability contribution amount billed monthly, but we actually pay it annually. The values expressed in this table are the fixed UAL costs plus the employer normal cost rate for Classic, which is 11.92% of payroll, and PEPRA is 7.93% of payroll. The budget's graph, historical trend analysis, capital projects budget, and narratives are included in the final budget document, as is the GAN, also known as appropriations limit calculation, which is an annual item required by state law. The GAN limit calculates the amount of property tax revenue that may be spent by local governments, including special districts, and it is calculated based on population growth and other factors. You'll notice it looks a little different this year compared to last year. This current fiscal year, I did a full deep dive into appropriation / GAN limits, how they're calculated, and what's the best way to present them. So I did revise the presentation of those this year. So staff recommend the board review, take public comment, and approve the fiscal year 26-27 budget and approve resolution 2026-22 establishing GAN limits for fiscal year. Sorry, it says fiscal year 25-26, but it's establishing the GAN limit actually for fiscal year 2026-27.
So. Or is that, that's a little error there in our, packet?
Yes, on the recommendation line, that was a minor error on the.
So at the end, it should be, let's say again, 2026, 27.
Correct, yes.
Okay. And do we need to correct that?
No,
Or-
it's correct in the document. It was just
Oh, it is,
incorrect
okay.
on my staff note, yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, well, thank you so much. I missed a little bit of that, but I got the gist. So, how about any comments from the
Yeah, I've got a
board?
comment. Samantha, I noticed, and it seems sort of odd and, I was wondering if I was gonna make a guess at it and then I'll let you, actually give us facts. But I noticed the CalPERS PEPRA and, UAL, went up by 14.33% in the classic, CalPERS and UAL only went up by 6.53%. Does that have to do with our transitioning to more PEPRA employees and less classic employees, or was there some other reason for
Based on everything I looked at, you're spot on, Director Orsini. So we obviously have the annual increases that happen organically, but also every new employee that comes on after 2013, they're all PEPRA. So there has been an adjustment as people retire. Classic kind of doesn't increase as much, and as new people come on, PEPRA increases a little bit.
So it's kind of a misnomer that somehow the PEPRA is costing the district more than classic. It's just because of our the changing the identity of our employees are changing.
Exactly. That demographic is changing as employees
Demographic
retire.
better.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was all. I just wanted also, I know what it takes to put together the budget, with all the different funds that we have. The water department has 3 different funds that they have to deal with. The Parks and Rec department has
Ew.
like a bunch of different funds between programs and Measure B and the general fund and all the open space maintenance zones. It's not an easy task when you have all these different revenue sources. And just the sheer the way you have accrual and cost accounting, two completely different types of accounting for the governmental and the enterprise funds. So I just want to take this opportunity to recognize and give staff kudos for putting together a balanced budget and a job well done, you guys. I know it's not easy. You guys have been at this since January. So for the better part of half a year, not full time, but I know you guys have been messing with this since January.
Thank you.
Jim, anything?
And Greg, I think Director Orsini has said it. We look at numbers and we say, well, what do they actually mean? And You called our attention to the increase in general liability insurance. And your explanation was that some, if not all of that increase above the general rate of increase, the general increase in the rate has to do with
Actually covering that stuff.
covering making sure that we are covered. Now, it's a liability insurance as opposed to a casualty insurance. And and liability insurance is generally driven by an experience. In other words, a claim rate, if you will. Do we have anything that we should be aware of in terms of what's driving the increase in liability insurance? And I assume staff has gone through this.
Yeah,
pretty carefully.
I'm prepared. I have a very detailed explanation if you want to hear it.
I would, yes, please.
Yeah, so it started with, we did have an incident this year where a vehicle crashed into one of our fences on an open space zone. So when processing that claim, I discovered that that open space zone, along with all of our open space zones, were not listed anywhere on our property coverage. So that led me and other staff to dive deeper and really go through our property coverage for not only all of our properties, but all of our assets, all of our vehicles as well. And it was discovered that none of our parks, playgrounds were covered. None of our bleachers were covered. None of our water tanks were covered. I think we had 3 water tanks on the schedule originally, but there was several that were missing. And then there was also several vehicles and pieces of equipment that were on there that were no longer owned by the district. And there were several pieces of equipment and pieces of vehicles that we owned that were not on there. Additionally, this year we also added several pieces of equipment and vehicles to our existing fleet. So all of that in accumulation added to the increase. And what we actually did, we hired an appraiser through SDRMA. That person came out, did a run around with parks crew, looked at all of our parks facilities, etc., and then ran around with the ops crew, looked at all of our tanks and wastewater management facility, solar array, and all of that, because that was not on there either. And then provided estimates to SDRMA, which is our insurance risk management provider. And then they updated all of our coverage for everything.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now, how much of that increase is due to increasing the asset value that is insured for casualty loss, and how much of it? And I'm asking just for just a rough guess at this, and how much of it is due to things such as open space, parks, and so on, where there's a liability exposure that in the past, the district may not have had insurance covered for accident and injury and that sort of thing, which is a scary thought. So can you kind of give us just a rough look at that? Because you can tell where I'm going. Where I'm going is, okay, so we have more stuff, and to make sure that we are covered for casualty loss of that stuff. Okay, I understand that, and I don't know if that's lumped into this number, but the one that is to me is of concern is where do we stand if there's an injury and we find ourselves on the receiving end of of a large ugly lawsuit. And where we may have had exposure to that, and hopefully those areas of exposure have been closed. Can you give
And
us
Director Biteman, I do not have that answer for you right now. I do know that general liability insurance cost on that table covers everything that you're concerned about. But what I can offer is I can send the board members, we have our certificate of insurance coverage provided by SDRMA that I can access tomorrow, and definitely email it over if everybody's interested in the limits that are provided.
Okay, it would be, I don't know whether other board members are concerned as I am, but I like to, I would say this is one of those things of can we sleep well at night?
I'm very confident in it today. I can tell you that. And maybe Pat wants to add to that. But as of right now, I'm very confident in our coverage.
Okay.
Not, I shouldn't speak for the whole board, but I think I am. I think we're all very concerned and it's a big part of what we need to protect for. And I'm really confident that our finance director is really keeping a keen eye on that. And Pat, if you had something you'd like to add to that, please do.
Yeah, I am. Well, one, just very much appreciate Samantha digging into this and making sure we're all covered. It's, but it is more as far as somebody getting injured in a park and stuff. We've been covered with that. We have our general liability to cover those sort of things forever. It's more of the property insurance that weren't fully covered that Samantha has really dug into, and now we're very much covered on. So the tanks that weren't covered, if we, had a big earthquake and then went and tried to claim replacement costs, those wouldn't have been covered, but now they are.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Well, and not only that, but the open space zones not being covered, if somebody would have tripped and hurt themselves, basically we would have been, that whole liability would have been on the ratepayers, because we wouldn't have insurance to cover those.
I guess I don't want to get into the details of a lot of that. We wouldn't have to pay for them tripping on a bad sidewalk or something like that. But yes.
Well, very good. I had a couple quick questions. Pardon me?
So the sidewalk, it's a good example.
Yeah. Others have some liability there as well, and it's still good. Or not a good, it's a bad problem. So, I had a question, and maybe this is not in here. I just haven't heard anything about. You have related to streetlights that we're going to purchase a boom truck. Okay, so that's a thing that prompted me to say, what's going on with our Fusion car that we is that's going to be a new expense? How are you guys? And I haven't spoken to Pat or Joey about it, so I don't know either. I'm just throwing that out as a question.
Yep, that's budgeted.
Yep, sorry, Pat. Yes, so the Fusion car was totaled out. We don't have that anymore, and it is budgeted to purchase a secondary vehicle after July 1st.
After July 1st, okay, cool. And so then I just wanted to add that having been here a while, I am so very impressed with your thoroughness, your thoughtfulness, your steadfast, kind of your creative approach to looking at these issues and looking at what's going on and not putting anything off till tomorrow. I just wanted to compliment you. It's you've done a lot of good here for the district, and I want to thank you personally. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with that, any comments from the public? Pat, anything else to say? Yeah. So let's call for a motion.
I'll move that we approve, the budget or consider, I move that we approve the budget and approve the resolution 2026-22 establishing appropriation limits for fiscal year 2026 and 2027.
Second.
Please call the vote.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Now we're moving on to item 6, consider second reading of ordinance 2026-03, amending the district's rules and regulations, generalizing specific fees to reference Appendix A, current special fee schedule, and Appendix B, facility and park rental fees schedule. That's on page 167. And our board secretary is going to present that item, if you will, please.
Thank you, President Mayo. As part of its due diligence, staff has reviewed the district's rules and regulations. Based on this review, staff has determined that for the mutual benefit of customers and staff, specific fees should be consolidated and referenced in Appendix A, current special fee schedule, draft included as Attachment 3, and Appendix B, facility and park rental fee schedule, draft included as Attachment 4. Centralizing these fees allows customers to easily locate all applicable fees in a single section of the rules and regulations, while enabling staff to efficiently update fees other than those subject to Proposition 218 without the need for piecemeal adjustments through the ordinance process. During its review, staff determined that Rule 8.03 meter test deposit, along with Rules 8.04 and 8.05, which address the results of meter testing, are outdated and no longer applicable. Badger, the water meter manufacturer, conducts factory testing prior to shipment to ensure each meter registers within acceptable limits, rendering these provisions unnecessary. Additionally, staff noted that Rule 14.05, supply for fire hydrant, states that the district offers the loan of a hydrant wrench for a nominal fee. As the district does not currently provide this service, this language is being removed from the rule. Further, it was noted during the review of Rule 19.03 sewer permits that the existing sewer inspection fee is outdated and requires adjustment to align with current payroll rates. Staff is also recommending the discontinuance of the variable charge for commercial, industrial, school, public, and other use permit, that the class permit be charged at standard rates. These adjustments are reflected in the draft Appendix A, current special fee schedule. Staff also made additional adjustments to Regulation 45, permits, fees, and deposits to reflect current district procedures and to enhance clarity. Additionally, the draft Appendix B, facility and park rental fee schedule, Attachment 4, includes proposed fee adjustments calculated by applying this year's consumer price index and cost of living adjustment of 2.8% as a baseline. Proposed adjustments have been rounded where appropriate for administrative ease and consistency. The changes to Regulation 45 and proposed fee adjustments were recommended for approval to the board by the Parks and Recreation Committee at their April 15th, 2026 meeting. This is the second reading of this ordinance. Should the board approve the second reading and adopt the ordinance will go into effect on July 3rd, 2026. Staff recommends the McKinleyville Community Services Board of Directors review the information provided, take public comment, discuss, and approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance 2026-03 by title only.
Thank you, Joy. So, any board comments on this?
Yeah, I think good. I think this will make it a lot easier to be able to figure out and have the fees all on one page instead of having to dig it through the rules and regulations like we used to have to be back in the olden days. Good. I think this is going to make it a lot easier for staff, and I'm glad that we're doing this. And in the future, we'll be able to just amend the fee list via resolution. So it should streamline the process. So good job for staff thinking this up.
Anybody else? Any comments from the public or on Zoom? Telephone? Okay, so let's have a motion.
I move that we approve the second reading of ordinance 2026-03, amending the district's rules and regulations and generalizing specific fees, current special fee schedule and appendix B as it is facility and park rental fee schedule.
And
I'll second that.
what I have here that we're going to do it by roll call, by attachment only, by title only.
By title only.
Yeah. Could say that. And how about, Joy, go ahead.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Aye.
President Mayo.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Let's see, moving on now to item E7.
6, 7.
Turn you a little bugger. So this is the second reading, 2026-04, rules and regulations, cross connections. And this is on page 195 of the packet. And our operations director, James Henry, if you would please, sir.
At the August 6th, 2025 board meeting, the board approved the district's cross-connection control plan, attachment 1, which was subsequently submitted to the State Water Resources Control Board review and approval. Control plan complies with California Code of Regulations Title 17, which requires water purveyors to maintain a cross-connection control program and mandates backflow protection where a health hazard, such as a sewer pump, is connected to a building plumbing system, and it now requires that all devices be installed above ground. Ordinance 2026-04, which is attachment 2, has been edited to further codify the district's rules and regulations regarding the backflow prevention requirements. Major changes to the district's policy brought forward by this plan, which I included last time, was the adoption of a cross-connection control plan, ECBs being installed above ground, RP backflow devices required for any connections with a pressure sewer pump, a certified cross-connection control specialist on staff, public outreach, record keeping, and hazard assessments. This is the second reading of this ordinance. Should the board approve the second reading and adopt the ordinance, this ordinance will go into effect on July 3rd, 2026. Staff recommends the NCSD Board of Directors review the information provided, take public comment, discuss and approve the second reading and adopt ordinance 2026-04, attachment 2 by title only.
Thank you. Any comments from the board?
Going to be a bunch of really hacked off people when they have to raise their ECV above ground, and all the people with sewer pumps. You have to put RPs in now. Have we done any public outreach on that yet? No. So we should start seeing stuff on Facebook here as soon as.
Reach, I guess, was our last board meeting and this board meeting. So yes,
Yeah.
we have.
Do we have any plans on reaching out to the people that have sewer pumps and telling them that they're going to have to put RPs in?
Yeah, we're gonna have to and put together a systematic mailing to all those people, notifying them, and giving them an opportunity to talk to us about it and stuff. Yeah, the replacement of the DCVs, that is going to be on a case by case basis when they fail, so it will be more of a one-off.
Yeah, but this is gonna be en masse. I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot. Do we know how many, do we know how many sewer pumps we have in the district? No, I bet you,
I mean, we know.
yeah, well, yeah, we've got it written down somewhere, but yeah. I bet you there's over 100 by now. Yeah.
And we're not really, or maybe we are, concerned about the wells, the connected wells, or is that a done issue basically? So I had to have that, those of us with wells had to have the back pressure valves. And is it a similar deal? That same, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until your DCV fails, and then you're gonna have to pay the plumber to fix your DCV and then put it above ground too.
Really?
You're not been paying attention to what we've been told.
Well, yeah, no, I know, I knew that, but I wasn't sure it was for those of us with, but even though, my well has been filled and other people, well, if the valve fails, we're still gonna have to rate them.
Oh, if you went through the county and got, oh, I'm sorry, no. If you went through the county and got a permit, you can, to fill the well and the well's been signed off on, and when we do an inspection on it, you don't have to have the DCV anymore.
Well, I've got them, but we did that a long time ago. I still got the DCV. So it's okay. It's not hurting nothing. Let's say again.
Get tested?
Yeah.
It would be worth your while to follow that through and because you don't need, if the well's filled and it was filled with a permit and it's filled first, the health department's requirements and our requirements, you don't need that DCV anymore.
Okay. Yeah, sure. My question. I'm happy to have it there because I don't want to get down on my knees and change it. So, any other comments, board? Any comments from the public? So let's have a motion.
I'll move for staff recommendation.
No second.
You can call the vote.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Biden,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. And now we're on to item 8, I believe.
Yep.
8, consider and approve the MCSD Park and Recreation Public Art in Our Parks program. And our Park and Recreation Director, Kristen Mesmer, is going to present that to us. Thank you.
Thank you. The Parks and Recreation Department has developed a proposed public art in our parks program to encourage community-driven public art projects within MCSD parks and recreation facilities. The proposed program provides guidance and review procedures for murals, painted utility boxes, recreation-themed artwork, indigenous artwork, and other artistic improvements on district property. Potential project locations initially include Pearson Park, Hiller Park, and the McKinleyville BMX Track and Park. Discussion of a potential public art program began after the McKinleyville Chamber of Commerce expressed interest in potentially partnering on a mural project at the Pearson Park restrooms to help beautify the area and provide additional visibility to the Chamber's Music in the Park community concert. The proposed program also supports opportunity for community collaboration, youth participation, and Indigenous and tribal artistic representation where appropriate. Staff also developed a corresponding public art in our parks program application to provide a standardized process for artists, schools, and community groups, tribal organizations, and other applicants to submit project proposals for consideration. Under the proposed process, public art opportunities and locations would first be reviewed by the Park and Recreation Committee, with final approval authority remaining with the MCSD Board of Directors. Staff recommends that the board review the information provided, discuss, take public comment, and improve the NCSD Parks and Recreation Public Art in Our Parks program and associated public art in our parks program application, which are attachment 1 and attachment 2, for use by the Parks and Recreation Department.
Thank you. I have a couple comments, but I want to go to the board first. Anybody, Greg, anybody, got anything said?
Yeah, so the only thing, I think this is a good idea. I can remember, somebody owed the district, for water fees, and he painted this most amazing mural on the side of the office. And because it was it was a mission, like a Spanish mission. And needless to say, it was not there for more than 3 or 4 days, and we had to paint over it because somebody threw a hissy fit about it. The colonial and all this stuff. So anyway, one of the things that we'll definitely have to take care of, or address or be aware of. The only thing that I saw that I kind of, and I looked for this, and of course it was the last thing in the thing, and that's the maintenance expectations. And artists or organization groups may be asked to assist with touch-ups, graffiti removal, minor repairs, protective coatings or reapplications. Long-term maintenance responsibility should be identified before project approval. Was there thought, or how did we come up with may instead of shall?
Right. I don't have an answer for you other than I did draft this. So I don't know necessarily what my thought process was. I had no idea about the other mural thing. That was something that got brought up by someone else who's a very long time staff member, James. So what I can say, having been with the district for 12 years and having gone through or been a part of the chamber's process with the county for the utility boxes, I think that public art is much more appreciated currently, at least the utility boxes have been painted for 7 or 8 years now. And I think I just saw the first tagging on one of them the other day. So I think we're in definitely a different place. And obviously, yes, we want to make sure that if things are getting proposed, it goes through park for their recommendation. And then ultimately would go to you guys as well for approval before. So I am in a much more positive place than when this first got presented, and James had some negative thoughts about a very long time ago mural that got painted. I think the intent is to add beautiful artwork. And I also will say, we didn't have this in place, but the skate park artwork is also very widely appreciated. And so all of the murals that are on the skate park too have been doing just great.
Yeah, and just for clarification, I'm very much, even though James and I both witnessed this Hispanic guy doing this beautiful mission scene. Somebody took offense to it, and my major concern though is with the expense that the district might incur to have to take care of these murals or paint over them and things like that, because at some point, they're going to have to be repainted. But I mean, like a utility box, at some point it's going to need to be repainted anyway, regardless of whether it's got a mural on it or not. I just want to make sure that we're covered, and that we're not creating another expense or another maintenance nightmare for a already short-staffed crew.
What I can also say specifically for the Pearson Park restrooms, is staff is constantly having to paint over graffiti on them as is. So if we actually had a mural on there, statistically murals get tagged less than blank walls. So we actually will probably save money.
Okay. Yeah, good. That's a good argument.
So I really like the public art deal, always have, and I understand there's challenges, but when I put up the horses have the right of way sign, and we got that all where we wanted it and put back together right. Director Bender got me some super duper stuff to paint over it, and you can't tag it. I mean, if something actually sticks to it, you just wash it right off. So I don't even remember what that stuff was, but it's been there a long time now.
Got it on Amazon.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is that an unsolicited advertisement, sir? All right. So I think I have about a half a gallon of it too.
Graffiti preventer today, data center tomorrow.
There you go. There
Slippery
you
slope.
go. And the other thing was we might think about a little bit of doing some kind of a contest with the grade school and the high school kids. Maybe $100 prize for the best 2 or 3 kind of things. Maybe get them excited in that a little bit. Just a thought, and you guys can kick that around if you think it's appropriate. Okay. Any other comments about from the public or the Zoom Marino? I have one from the public. Mike.
There'll be a green light.
Oh, okay. I think this is a really wonderful idea, and I commend the board and the staff for thinking of it. And just look at Eureka. I mean, look at what a difference it makes driving through Eureka when you drive by and you see all these beautiful pieces of art just, springing up in the middle of the streets on some public facility. And it does discourage graffiti. I mean, graffiti is frustrated art, and if you have real art, there isn't this desire to, put your markings all over everything. So I suggest that you advertise this to the schools, maybe to CR, and definitely to the press so that you can get the professional art community involved. Thank you.
Thank you. And have you been able to hear us better? Thank you, Kay. All righty. How about Zoom Marino? Nothing. I will entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the staff recommendation.
I'll second.
Please.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Beitman,
Yes.
Director Orsini,
Yes.
President Mayo.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. And let's move on to our active committee reports. And go to Park and Recreation Committee first.
Okay, did not meet in the month of May.
Very good. How about the Audit and Finance Committee?
We did meet and we covered everything today.
Okay, very good. Employee negotiation, we did not meet. McKinleyville Community Forest Committee.
We met. Uno momento. So we had our typical committee subcommittee reports for the Trails and Infrastructure and Cleanup Subcommittee and the Community Forest or the Forest Management Plan and Budgeting Subcommittee. We had a really cool presentation by the Northern California Land Trust and somebody from Green Diamond about the Lindsay Creek easement presentation. And for everybody's information, that's the conservation easement that's to the east of us. That still is under
it's under Green Diamond's control, but it's now wrapped up in a conservation easement. It will never be able to be used other than for harvesting timber. No potential for it to ever be changed, the zoning changed on it. And that was quite a lengthy presentation that we had. We discussed rules and regulations additions that were approved by the board for the seats on the MFC or the McKinley Community Forest Committee. And I gave a committee chair report, and that was about it. Did I miss anything? It was worth bringing up now.
Well, we actually met. And it was a good meeting. Basically, it was Gabriel from Infinite Consulting Services that gave the presentation. Without getting into too much detail, what he did was he outlined the steps taken and the steps that we're going to take and the things that have come to that he discovered that affected our electronic infrastructure, and the steps that we are going to be taking and the procedures to safeguard our electronic security and to bring it into National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework Compliance, which is a condition of the grant that we got to this. Do you have anything to add, Greg?
Yeah, I used a lot of acronyms that I didn't know.
Like 2FA.
No, it was you could definitely tell that that our staff has put in some serious work with our consultant on making sure that our that we're electronically secure and digitally secure. And if Scott and I tells you any more than that, we'll have to kill you because it's all top secret.
You're a veteran. I thought you were accustomed to acronyms.
I am, but I'm used to acronyms. Being in this business and being in the military, I just never heard none of the ones that he used. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Kinleyville Area Fund.
The only thing I have to report about the McKinleyville Area Fund was that last week, 8 scholarships for the John Hewitt Memorial Scholarship Fund were given out to worthy high school students on Mac High. And that'd be the last thing that the McKinleyville Area Fund will do until next grant cycle.
What was the dollar amount of the grant?
$250.
How much?
$250
Okay.
for all 8 of the applicants.
Oh, so it was 250 per applicants.
It was a total of $2,000 given out.
Oh, very cool. Right on. Thank you very much for doing that.
Hey, thanks, Scott. All righty. So legislative and regulatory reports.
How about we do redeck the McMack and
Where's
senior
my
center?
redeck? Hold on here. Okay, sorry, guys. I had already crossed them off. I apologize. Redwood Region Economic and Development Committee.
The board meeting was scheduled for Monday. and that was Memorial Day. So that they canceled the board meeting. The only other thing to report is that they have an upcoming loan committee meeting, and I've been appointed to the loan committee. Thank you, Dennis. But I do not know yet what's going to be reviewed at that meeting. So it's upcoming. It's not passed.
Thank you.
Thanks for accepting that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Loan committee's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, it's,
Nobody else will know the poor folks that go to read that.
yeah, and I think it's important that we all understand that REDAC has taken the position of being the lender of last resort.
Yeah.
And they've done some really good things. I was delighted last time that I served on the loan committee. I was delighted to see some local folks get support for Mad River, is it Mad River Gardens. It's really neat. So anyhow.
Thank you,
It
Jim.
is fun. It is fun because it's local people doing local things.
Right. So. Any other comments on that? Okay, how about the McKinleyville Municipal Advisory Committee?
Yeah, the Micmac met last Wednesday in the media room, which is a smaller room at the middle school. In transition, we'll be moving to Morris School to continue on going forward. Okay. Briefly, what happened was Ross McDonald from the Arcata Fire District showed up and spoke briefly on staffing. Supervisor Madrone talked a little bit about how trash is handled here in town, and specifically thanked the Gillingville Trash Bash people, Pack Out Green Team, and John Shelter and his new directions for their assistance in making Gillingville just a little bit more tidy for everyone to enjoy. In terms of the subcommittee, the Committee for Alternative Transportation was reported out on working on the art at the Hiller intersection and McKinleyville Avenue, presented some updated maps and their plans to paint up to 1,800 square feet of paintable surfaces and out there, and they're exploring some grant opportunities with the MFRC in order to fund these. The incorporation subcommittee still in the community outreach. They were discussing how to effectively do more community outreach. And let's see, Ann Lindsay spoke a little bit and gave us an update on what Life Plan Humboldt is doing. And the main item for the meeting was a presentation by Tom Matson, who talked about the McKinleyville roads, the different types of roads that we had, private road, publicly maintained road, county non-maintained roads, and the types of Measure O projects that were planned for last year and this coming year, and the vegetation maintenance policy and how it could possibly be done by volunteers in addition to the county sending their road crews in. I did notice that the road crews had their flail mower out on McKinleyville Avenue yesterday, and that's always nice to see, clearing away the brush from our Class 2 bikeway. And other than that, it was quite a short meeting.
A rare pleasure. I'm sure. A rare pleasure, I'm sure. Short. They're usually not very short.
Oh, also our changes for our rules and regulations are scheduled to go before the Board of Supervisors 2 weeks from now. 2 Mondays from now.
Okay, so now we'll be to the legislative and
Not before you let
regulatory.
Scott give his report on the senior center.
Does he want to do that? Okay, sorry.
As usual.
What I'm doing, I'm sorry, this thing's in my face here so I can talk and I'm marking off one ahead of me and I'm sorry. Scott, would you please give us a report on the?
I shall. As always, we're doing what we do every day, sharing and caring and helping our older community members make the most of their lives. We are looking forward to our annual rummage sale to correspond with the Pony Express Days festivities in Pearson Park. We were very fortunate to receive several boxes from the estate of Elsie Moxon. And she had a lot of good stuff for us. So make sure you stop in and see some things that are specifically Arcata and things that come from the rest of her family. There's some really nice stuff. Going forward on the next Monday, we're pleased to host a very, very talented world-renowned embroidery expert and public art installation presenter. And her name is Lori Shapiro. She's going to be putting on an embroidery workshop corresponding with the Knitting and Crocheting Group on Monday for a couple hours. And the senior public is, of course, invited. Please RSVP. Space is limited. And she'll be providing the materials to embroider whatever you would like to bring in. A lot of people are going to be bringing in sweaters and shirts. Our memory cafe has expanded from once per month to twice per month because the group has grown so much and that's what they want to do. And they think that meeting once a month just isn't enough and they're enjoying it so much and it's very beneficial. I'd like to give a shout out to Dr. Bill Carlson and Kim Coelho and Ms. McKenna from the Alzheimer's Association, who all three of them are leaders in this group. And they're doing a fantastic job.
When are those,
The
meetings?
second and the fourth Wednesday of each month,
Second and fourth?
and they're held in this room.
It's a good turnout.
At what time?
Between 1 and 2:30.
Good turnout.
And Humboldt Senior Resource Center copied us after seeing our success. Now they're having one per month in Eureka and Fortuna. And they're going to be kicking off their memory cafes, I believe next week.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Our series with our doctor that does the Death Cafe and the Grief Cafe are continuing on, Dr. Gina Belton. And we're going to be having a Death Cafe a couple of Mondays from now. And people are starting to look forward to that as well. And I guess that's about all I have to say.
Well, as always, Scotty, good job. We appreciate it.
Yes.
We worked a long time to get to a point where the senior center was becoming what we knew it could be.
Oh yeah, plus we started a Mahjong group on Mondays. Monday is now Monday game afternoon because we do Mahjong. There's a group of Mahjong, there's the cribbage players, the Rummy Cube people, and the room's full.
I bet. Mahjong seems to be pretty hot nowadays.
American rule Mahjong.
So, very good. All righty. Finally, we'll get to legislative and regulatory reports. Anybody?
Good time to chime. Go ahead, Dennis. I know.
No, go ahead.
No, go.
Jim? Okay. There are some things that I wanted to touch bases on. We had the Trail Summit. And quite the event around the Trail Summit. I guess we had about maybe 15 that came afterwards up to walk on on our trails. And I was there in the beginning just for an hour. I had like 40 things to do that day. So I sat there at the booth for a while, and talked to people, and I'm going to preface this with the chili cook-off that's happening tomorrow. And I would like to solicit the board members to think about, as we have these tabling events, that board members should be there. There should be, maybe break it up part by part, but a board member should be at those things each and every time. And I'm going to go and be at the chili deal. I don't know whether any of the rest of you want to come and help serve or not, but I think that's a good thing for us as board members to be there doing that. Judge. Huh? Have to judge. Okay. Well, you won't be biased then, will you? So anyway, just then I went to the.
I'll be biased towards the best bowl of chili.
There you go. And Humboldt State had their new outdoor eco and economic summit at the Aquatic Center. And I popped in there early just for a brief to say hi. And next year, they're going to be getting in touch. They may have already got in touch with you, Pat, I don't know, but to have us come and do a table there, because they're trying to promote a big kind of like conjunction with marketing Humboldt, marketing activities for, recreation and all that kind of stuff, but through, and I keep saying issue, what the hell do we call it now? Cal Poly Humboldt, yeah. So, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty exciting continuing deal, because they whipped this thing together in about 4 months and had a pretty good turnout. So anyway, I think that's a cool deal. And I wanted to bring that up. And then one other quick thing from Aqua. At the conference, Aqua launched a vision for our Water Future Initiative, created kind of an exciting energy and engagement at the Aqua Spring Conference. And now they would like region board help to continue building the momentum. If you have not already done so, please encourage your agency to become a vision partner by passing a resolution or letter of support, having Region 1 board member agencies show their support as partners will set the tone and the example for Region 1 membership to follow. As a vision partner, your agency logo will be featured on the partner section of all vision web pages and social media posts and outreach efforts. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I think Scott will be getting that info.
I was that email just came through.
Yes.
Late this afternoon. Did you get that email, Joey? Yeah, I'll forward it to you, along with a couple other things.
Yeah. So, I am not 100% sure on our format now. We're going to
Staff reports.
Maybe
yeah.
Joey might have something for legislators.
Yeah, that was this. So Joey, if you would like on the legislative part.
I do not have anything further than our board item. As I work on the CMCA Legislative Committee, I am trying to be on the lookout for things that are aligned with CMCA and CSDA, and try to champion those where I can.
Appreciate that. It's quite amazing how the volume of this stuff, it just keeps coming and coming and coming.
It's a lot right now.
Yeah. So now we're going to be doing our finance and administration report by Samantha, our finance director. Are you still there? I can't see you.
I'm here. I have nothing further to add to my report.
Okay, thank you. And our operations department, operations director, Mr. Henry.
Nothing to add. Thank you.
That's great report. Thank you. And you had a, and your presentation in the packet was good. Thank you for that. Park and Recreation Director report.
Also nothing.
Nothing to add. And now we're at the General Manager report.
I have nothing further to add.
Okay. Got all of it in there anyway, Pen. All righty. So here's where I was at earlier. I spaced out. I'm not quite sure. We're not going to close the meeting. We're going to adjourn to closed session.
Can we do the president's report and the board members' comments and announcements and reports?
Yeah.
Before we do that,
Go ahead.
you don't have.
I already said my piece.
All right. So I just, the chili cook-off is tomorrow. If you're hankering to have the Grand Marshal's choice for chili, bribes are being accepted. And then Saturday will be the parade. Starts at 11. And everybody come to Pearson Park. Afterwards.
Anybody we know going to be in that parade?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people now. I heard somebody's Cowboys are gonna have a whole bunch of horses in that parade. Anyway, that's all I have.
That's it. Anybody else? Okay. We are going to adjourn, I believe. Correct term.
You want to do the president's report before we go?
I've
Yeah.
already made my report. Yeah.
Got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna adjourn to a closed session as
Yep.
opposed
Yeah,
to.
joint closed session for performance evaluation, the general manager.
And for those of you on Zoom, we are gonna close out Zoom as well, and we'll report out a closed session here in at Azalea Hall tonight, but also next month at our board meeting.
At the start of the meeting. Yeah.
Right.
So thank you all.